welcome back to our second part of our lesson on forces and motion. And we talked about yesterday how forces is a type of motion, and our motions can tell us different directions on for our forces of which way do they go? Do they come to us? Do they go away from us? So yesterday we talked about a push. When we push against something, we are pushing it away. It's going the opposite direction from us. And then when we pull something, we're pulling it to us. It's closer to us. We also talked about gravity and how gravity, like on the earth, that gravity pushes us down. So it's actually attracting us to the earth. And that way we're not floating around in space. But today I wanted to talk to you about friction. That was the next thing I wanted to add today. So friction, it is a type of force that slows or stops motion when it's rubbed together. So when things rub together like what I'm doing right now, this is called friction. So for example, when you are driving a car, your parents can press on the brakes and the car stops. Well, those brakes and the tires are causing friction, which slows it down and it stops it. But what do you do if you don't have brakes? Say, for example, I have a toy car. Now, we know this isn't a real car, so it can't stop on its own. But do you think it will just go forever, or how does it stop? What is the friction that causes this car to stop? And that is the experiment that we are going to do today. I'm going to push this car in different directions on different surfaces, and we're going to figure out why it stops. If it stops, does it go faster or does it go slower? So let's get started. All right, so I have my toy car, and I'm going to push it because this car is going to go away from me, so I'm pushing it forward, away from me. And let's see if it stops, if it keeps going, does it get faster, does it get slower? All right, so it did eventually stop. How did it stop? I don't have a remote control, I don't have any real brakes, it just stopped all on its own. So we've got to figure out why did that happen. So let's investigate. So as you can see, if we get closer to the car, so just like a real car, it has wheels, it has tires, and usually we drive cars on roads. Well, we don't have a road, but we have a ground, my floor in my house. So as it's rubbing across, remember we said that friction is where it rubs against each other, back and forth. So what is rubbing here? The tires and the what? Tires and the ground. So for example here, it'd be the tires and my hardwood floors is rubbing against each other. And eventually it will slow down and stop. All right? Now, my hardwood floor is very smooth. It's slick. It's not very thick. Like if you go outside and you see grass can be sometimes like really bushy and thick, and it's hard for something like this, say with a wheel, to move very fast against it. Well, there was nothing in the way on this hardwood floor to get in the way of these wheels. They just glide right over, very smooth. Okay? I have something else I want to try this on. I have carpet. As you know, carpet is a little bit thicker than hardwood floors. Hardwood floors is, like I said, slick and smooth. And then as you have carpet is just a little bit thicker. And we're going to see if it will slow it down. Will my car go faster? Will it go further if I put the same amount of pressure when I push it? So now I have some carpet, not just hardwood floor, and I'm going to put it down and I'm going to push it. And let's see if it goes any further. Wow, that did not go very far. So this carpet, it's a lot thicker. It's not as smooth as this hardwood floor. Therefore, I'm going to have to push it a whole lot harder to make it across this rug than I would my hardwood floors. So let's try it again, and I want to push it even harder. See, now that time it went a whole lot further, but I had to push a whole lot harder. So for example, if I move this over and we get a little bit of a hardwood, I can use the same amount of force. It goes a whole lot further, but if I push just a little bit, it didn't go very far. Now, let's push a little harder on our hardwood floor. It went all the way into my living room now. But now if I push same amount of force, but a little bit harder than the first time, same amount of force as my hardwood floor, it didn't go all the way into my living room. It's still here in my dining room. So I'm having to push a whole lot more, put a whole lot more force and a lot more effort into this thick carpet. Same thing with grass. If you're ever outside and you have a ball, kicking a ball around, and you kick it, I mean, yeah, you can kick it to your friend, but it's going to take a little bit longer to get to them as, say, if you were kicking the ball back and forth on a smooth surface. Because sometimes thick, bushy grass can get in the way and it slows it down. Just like these wheels on the car, it'll slow it down. That's friction. All right, guys, so that concludes our lesson on forces in motion. So just remember, our forces, different types of forces are push, pull, we have gravity, and then we also have friction. So when you push something, remember, you push it away. It's going away from you, further away. And when you pull something, it comes closer to you. You're pulling it towards you. And then, of course, gravity, we talked about yesterday how it pushes us down to the earth, but it's also like us attracting. We're attracting down, we're attracting together, like a magnet. You know how it attracts? Well, it's pushing it together. So it's pushing us down to the earth so our feet touch the ground. Our 2 feet touch the ground and we're not floating around in space. And then friction. Friction is where it rubs back and forth and it can slow it down or it can even stop something. Whatever's in motion, whatever's moving, it slows it or it stops it. All right, so y'all have a great rest of your day and keep staying safe and healthy, and we'll see you soon.